Hi everyone. Today I will explain about databases. What is a database? A database is used to store the data. In database we store the text format data like key value based or any text related to questions, any text related to user data, employees data, business data, analytics. Everything is come under database. We store the text formatted data in the databases. Databases are of four types: relational database, non-relational database, time series database, and in-memory database. A non-relational database is a tabular format where we have rows and columns, and one table is related to other table. There is a relation between table A and table B. So the data stored in table A will have connection with table B. That's why this is called relational database. Non-relational database. Non-relational database have a data format in key value based and documented, whether it will be text format. So that is non-relational database. In-memory database is a data which is stored in memory. It is related to in-memory database. This data is stored in a memory and it is in a format of textual format. And finally, time series database. A time series database is used for monitoring purpose. It stores the metrics, it stores a sequence of metrics, a sequence of monitoring data. It is most widely used by Prometheus, Elasticsearch, or other tools like telemetry. These are all monitoring tools uses the time series database. Examples of relational database: SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, MongoDB. Whereas non-relational database examples: NoSQL, MongoDB, etc. Examples of in-memory database: Redis, Valkey, Memcache. That's all about databases. In DevOps, we need databases to store the application data, to store the user data, to store the business data. There are multiple things are there to use the databases. So databases are essential, and in the DevOps life, we should know about the databases, and we should be aware of databases to how they function and how they work and how to create databases. There are three ways to create databases. One is on-premises databases. On-premises databases means it will be upfront investment by companies. They buy the servers and we install databases. We install SQL or NoSQL, whether it will be depending on the source. We install the database and we manage and we recover the backups. We take care of installation, we take care of updating, patchworks. Everything will be under ourselves, and we need to take care of the servers. It is upfront investment. The advantages of using on-premises environment or owned servers is security, because the companies who own servers, they are managing their servers, and they have the recruitment team who manage their servers, because the other people or third party persons, another people from the from outside the company couldn't retrieve the data because it is under secure alliances, and it is more secured. And second thing, cloud hosted databases, where we buy some servers and our data is stored in the cloud. There is no upfront investment. Here there will be disadvantages of security of data. And we can launch the database whenever we want, and we can delete it if we do not need. The possibility of using cloud database, pay as you go. As we create databases, we pay to them. If we do not need them, if we do not use them, we do not pay to them. That's it. The advantages of using cloud hosted database is less investment. There is no need of upfront investment, reduced cost, pay as you go, and the servers are managed by the cloud. We need to take care of installation and backups of the database. So a cloud hosted database, we use EC2 instances, and we set up the databases. When we install the databases, we make sure of taking backups, and we make sure of taking snapshots, are everything done in our control. But cloud services like AWS, GCP, Azure, they are provided with more features called managed databases. They come up with scaling, they come up with backups, snapshots. These are all automated under the cloud services. For example, AWS RDS. AWS RDS is a relational database management system. Similarly, there is a non-relational database service called AWS DynamoDB, and in-memory database as service AWS Elasticache, and finally time series database like AWS TimeStreak. I think I forgot about it. Maybe it will be AWS TimeStream database. So there are 4 types of database. For 4 types of databases, AWS provided the AWS database services with managed databases. So a database is completely controlled by AWS. The setting up of infra, managing of database, and installation, patchwork, debugging, backups, auto scaling, security, and everything is under AWS control. It all managed by the AWS, but it is expensive. And as it come up with more features, it is more expensive than self-hosted databases. It is more expensive than cloud-hosted databases, which means we launch instances and we install database, we manage database, and we manage the upgrading of the database. But here AWS managed services do not need at all. AWS will manage everything under its control. Relational database come up with more features than other AWS service databases, because time series databases and DynamoDB database are serverless instances, whereas in-memory and relational databases are server databases. These instances are launched by AWS, and we can visually show them, we can interact them more easily than DynamoDB and time series database. As part of the RDS, this is all about RDS. I am thankful for explaining about it. Thank you.